Enough is enough.
Across the country, at least 240 people have tested positive for COVID-19.
There's been panic buying. In some cases, people are buying way too much and selling things at a profit. Others are hoarding just in case.
This is crazy. This is the craziest I've seen.
Yes, I was worried I couldn't find supplies.
What'd you buy?
Toilet paper, hand sanitizer, and almond flour.
So here's the thing. The Retail Council of Canada represents all major grocery chains in Canada. It's urging consumers not to panic buy because Canada has one of the best supply chains in the world.
This weekend, as the sun hit the pavement, people flocked to the parks, practicing everything but social distancing.
You see people in big groups and, not keeping that distance.
Call came into 311 about a backyard party of 20 people who have showed complete disregard.
Earlier that day, the mayor of Brampton passed a new bylaw. Anyone in violation could be fined $500 to $100,000.
This is too serious for anyone to be reckless and foolish.
Social distancing, physical distancing, is the single best way to keep the people around you safe. What does that mean? It means keeping 2 meters between yourself and someone else. It means avoiding groups. It means staying home as much as possible. If you choose to ignore that advice, if you choose to get together with people or go to crowded places, you're not just putting yourself at risk, you're putting others at risk too. Enough is enough. Go home and stay home. This is what we all need to be doing. And we're going to make sure this happens, whether by educating people more on the risks or by enforcing the rules if that's needed.
Right. We're asking people to self-isolate because it is to protect their family, their loved ones, their community from the potential of contracting this illness. People are playing loose and hard with the rules like this. It does actually put our civil liberties at jeopardy. It makes governments have to look at more and more stringent measures to actually contain people in their own homes. So actually, our freedoms around the measures that we're taking right now depend on people taking them seriously, because politicians and governments will be pushed to a place to take more and more stringent measures when people violate them and don't take this seriously.
Stay home.
Stay at home.
Staying at home, staying apart with each other.
Most important message, stay home.
Denying entry to Canada to people who are not Canadian citizens or permanent residents. This measure will carve out some designated exceptions, including for air crews, diplomats, immediate family members of Canadian citizens, and, at this time, U.S. citizens. Second, air operators will be formally mandated to prevent all travelers who present symptoms of COVID-19 to board a plane. Air operators will be required to complete a basic health assessment of every air traveler based on guidance from the Public Health Agency of Canada. This means that anyone who has symptoms will not be able to come to Canada. Third, starting Wednesday, March 18th, only 4 Canadian airports will be accepting international flights. The travel restrictions announced today will not apply to commerce or trade. Canada and the United States will temporarily restrict all non-essential travel across the Canada-US border. Travelers will no longer be permitted to cross the border for recreation and tourism. Our government will be creating a $1 billion COVID-19 response fund, which will provide money to the provinces and territories to deal with preparation and mitigation for the virus. I want all premiers and all Canadians to know our government is here for you. We will make sure you have everything you need.
Ministers like Anita Anand have been buying, scouring a frantic global market for every available supply.
we have now managed to secure more than 157 million surgical masks to support the response. To date, we have also ordered more than 60 million N95 masks.
Some of it is already here, some on the way, while thousands of companies have offered to retool or ramp up to make everything from gowns to gloves to sanitizer. Canada has also bought or ordered 1,500 ventilators and is working on 4,000 more, some built in Toronto by Thornhill Medical.
These makeshift field hospitals, providing space for more beds and medical supplies, are slowly sprouting up in communities across the country. Vancouver's iconic convention centre is making room for around 270 beds, while Edmonton's Butterdome Sports Arena will soon be used to treat dozens of COVID-19 patients with milder symptoms.
A million jobs, 1.01 million jobs were lost for the month of March. This is
the Canada Emergency Response Benefit will provide $2,000 a month for the next 4 months for workers who lose their income as a result of COVID-19. If you've lost your job because of COVID-19, whether you're full-time, contract, or self-employed, this new benefit will be there for you. If you're sick or quarantined, looking after someone sick, or at home taking care of your kids, it's there for you. And even if you're still employed but not receiving income because of this crisis, the CERB is there for you. An application portal will launch as quickly as possible, and people should start receiving money within 10 days of applying. I know we're working to get you the support you need when you need it.
Price is the lowest they've been in more than a decade.
That's some of the fuel in our ground. We are losing over 6 cents a liter, so we're paying people to buy our fuel.
We have never experienced anything like this in the history of our energy industry. When layered on top of a massive global contraction in demand, and layered on top of 5 years of economic and social fragility, Mr. Speaker, we are facing a period of profound adversity.
Today, I want to speak directly to small businesses and entrepreneurs. I know that for many of you, the past few weeks have been heartbreaking. You've had to slow down your operations. In some cases, you've even had to close up shop for the foreseeable future. And because money isn't coming in, you can't afford to keep your employees on the payroll. These are really tough decisions. Last week, we had announced that we would cover 10% of wages, but it's becoming clear that we need to do more, much more. So we're bringing that percentage up to 75% for qualifying businesses. This means that people will continue to be paid even though their employer has had to slow down or stop its operations because of COVID-19. We're helping companies keep people on the payroll so that workers are supported and the economy is positioned to recover from this. That is our priority. A few weeks ago, we launched the Canada Emergency Business Account to help small businesses struggling with cash flow. Under this program, banks are offering $40,000 loans, which are guaranteed by the government. To date, more than 195,000 loans have been approved. We're talking about more than $7.5 billion in credit to small and medium-sized businesses. No one should feel as if they're alone in this fight. Our government is here to help you through these challenging times.